Hello, everybody. It's the American Doofus Show. I'm your host, Barry Walsh. Don't be a doofus. If you want to contact me, email americandoofus@gmail.com or go to Facebook, American Doofus, and message me there. Cash App is up. It is $ American Doofus if you support the show and you'd like to give a few dollars. Look at it as buying me a cup of coffee if you like the work we're doing. The title of this episode is "The Enemy of My Enemy is My Friend." And what does that mean? Well, basically, if you've got a conflict with someone and there is a potentially bigger conflict that could impact both of you, then it behooves you to become friends and focus on a common enemy. Let's play some chess this episode. I was sent a video. I was sent it anonymously, and it was a confidential video at the time. It was sent to me, I believe, because I'm neutral, because I hear and listen to all sides, and because I'm not affiliated with anyone. But for whatever reason, it was sent to me. I debated about whether to show it or not, and what I've decided is I'm not going to show the video. I'm just going to play the audio. The audio is the most important. I don't want to in any way identify anyone that doesn't want to be identified. So I'm going to play the audio only. And the reason this video was sent to me is because there have been claims that Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC were fraudulent in their reason for actually being at Stone Mountain, Georgia. So let's listen to this, and I'll let you, and then you judge for yourselves.
This is an early alert of supposed activity this weekend on the 4th of July that would cause harm to our people on a very large scale. The Huey P. Newton Gun Club has received intel from two credible sources that multiple white nationalist groups / militias are planning a nationwide attack on all of our people over the 4th of July weekend. The sources could not confirm the motives of the nationalists, but they might be tied to the events that have recently happened with the taking down of Confederate symbols across the United States and the retaliation against police brutality across the United States as well. We as a preparedness group should take this threat very seriously for two reasons. One, for the events that have sparked the epicenter in Minnesota with the murder of George Floyd, and the sudden spike of Klan recruitment in the southern states the past 3 months. Please do not take this threat lightly. Okay? Over the past couple of months, there has definitely been a spike in recruitment in this area. It is my job to pay attention to these things, and I have. There's also been an uptick in rhetoric online, threats from these different militia groups. And again, this is not a training exercise. This is real. The threat is real this weekend. Take precautions when you're out and about with your families.
Okay, so that gives you the gist of the video. The video's 4 minutes and 17 seconds. And the gentleman goes on and warns about various potential threats. Again, this was sent to me confidentially, and take it for what it is worth. To me, it shows that there was a credible threat on July 4th, and it wasn't a protest. It was never a protest of the monument Stone Mountain. If it had been a protest, they had enough guns that they could have done some target practice and messed the sculpture up a little bit if that was the purpose. So to me, this just reinforces me taking Grandmaster Jay at his word as why the NFAC were out there and why they came to prominence, and how I became aware of them. There are, I mentioned in another video, there are another episode. There are a lot of groups, and I've had some people explain to me that the black community is somewhat divided, and I've had people reach out from various groups. I'm going to talk about four groups briefly. Grandmaster Jay, the NFAC. Grandmaster Jay, to me, uses the NFAC as a display of power. It's not about being offensive, or it's not about it's about being prepared for a fight, but not the purpose, if you will. It's more about displaying power. He's a spiritual leader of many. He commands the NFAC, and he's got a political vision of a homeland. The NFAR, Delta Django. I haven't seen a lot of Delta Django. The first probably 45 seconds of watching him, I said to myself, this guy's a warrior. There's absolutely no freaking doubt this guy's a warrior. And I think the problem between the two, as I mentioned in a previous episode, I think they were both right. They just had different expectations. Delta Django wanted the NFAC to be more about action and less about political show of power. So that's beside the point. Moorish World TV. I've had some people that follow Moorish World TV contact me, and they want progress. They want it now. They want it quickly. They want positives for their community, as they should. Black Lives Matter is another group, and Black Lives Matter accepts white people as allies, which is different than the others I've mentioned. And then there are so many other groups. The NFAC's come to prominence, and some in the white militia community, if you will, kind of believe that you wipe the NFAC out, there's no threats to white supremacists from anybody else, and that's just asinine. But anyway, if all the groups united, then you would see real, true black power like it's never been seen. And how can that happen? How can all these various, who knows how many groups, how can they unite? They'd have to have a common enemy. And the common enemy is not all white people. To me, the common enemy is the elite that try to keep black people and white people at odds with each other, and so the focus is never on them. While they have their own police departments, they have their own security forces, they have their own islands like Jeffrey Epstein, where a bunch of anyway. I think the Angry Viking, again, we're playing chess in this episode. I think the Angry Viking might be unknowingly setting himself up to possibly be that one uniting force. I think he might be playing checkers without realizing it. His focus is on Kenosha, Wisconsin, a very small black population. I think he thinks he's going to go in there without a whole lot of conflict or opposition. He's going to be at the north end of the country, while Grandmaster Jay and NFAC's focus seems to be more on Louisiana at the bottom of the country. What the Angry Viking doesn't realize is he sandwiched himself when he goes into Kenosha between Chicago and Minneapolis, and they're two very pissed off cities, and he might easily find himself outnumbered. The question that really needs to be answered, in my opinion, is Would his focus be on Kenosha, Wisconsin if the shooter were black? I did an episode, what if the shooter were black? I'd like to hope the answer is yes, that is his reason to go. If it's because it's a white boy, maybe he needs to check his motivation. I say all this stuff because I want peace. But what I want and what happens can often be two different things. The angry Viking could be setting himself up. The angry Viking wants Grandmaster Jay as an enemy. That's known. But what he may find himself with is the entire black population as his enemy, and I know that's not a situation I would want to be in. So I hope this gets to the angry Viking. Again, I've invited everybody on the show. Moorish World TV, BLM, NFAC, NFAR, Angry Vikings. Let's talk, because the more we talk, less chance there is for conflict and violence, and the greater chance there is for peace when we find out we've got more in common than we do that divides us. So, the question needs to be answered. Would the Angry Viking group have the focus on Kenosha, Wisconsin if the shooter were black? If that answer is no, then the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's not a position I'd want to be in or put my people in. Just some things I've been thinking about. It's the American Doofus Show. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Don't be a doofus.